So if you watched the videos that I made about Verizon's quarter, you heard my frustration and passion in that video because I want Verizon to succeed. And right now, it's a lot of stubbornness inside the management teams. They know what needs to happen. I know what needs to happen, and you guys know what needs to happen. I mean, it's not going to take a rocket scientist to figure this out. It's as transparent and clear as a coffee pot what they need to do. And I know overall it hasn't reflected on the consumer churn, but churn is there. I'm telling you right now, the churn is there. You can look at it in the numbers. They lost 292,000 lines or customers in Q1. In the second quarter, they lost 215,000 accounts. Well, lines, and 128,000 entire accounts they lost. That means they lost a whole kit and caboodle. All lines, all watches, all tablets gone. 128,000. And that wasn't pointed out or represented during the earnings call. And I spoke with a specific analyst about that. And he told me he thinks that's more alarming than anything else. Entire accounts. It's not some lines. It's not two lines. They're losing the entire account. So that's not good. That's not good at all. Right? So now, kind of looking at it, what's the positive takeaway from this for us, the consumer, and what does Verizon have to do? So the positive takeaway from this is more competition will come out of this. And Verizon will adjust. But they're going to wait. I just know it. They're going to wait till the last minute until they're so deep in that rut to get out of it that it's going to take them like 6-7 quarters of posting positive numbers to gain trust back from Wall Street. That's how deep I think they're going to let it get. And it's heading that way. They've had the best value in the industry, the best perks. That hasn't worked. They offer mix and match, which is really good. You can set up an account to be priced very similar to T-Mobile and AT&T. You don't have to have all lines on the Get More plan. And if you do, if you add a tablet, if you add a smartwatch, you get those lines 50% off. So like I said, you can structure that to be very close, and still, it hasn't helped. The welcome plan that they just implemented, it's a bit too early to tell what that will do for Verizon. They have said so as much in the internal town hall. But they're expecting that plan to just drive foot traffic to, again, get people upselling into the premium plan. As of this quarter, second quarter, 39% of the base is on Premium Unlimited, and they're pushing that to get to 50 in 2023. And that hasn't done anything for them. They still gave a negative financial outlook. They raised prices, and they still gave a negative financial outlook. So that's not good at all. So here's what I think they need to do. And I think they need to do it now and quick. And I don't think they need to wait that long. So there's two things Verizon needs to do. One, they need to stop the bleeding. So they need to find a niche promo or something to stop the bleeding. And then they need to implement something to bring back the growth. Those are the two things they have to do. And I think the only way they stop the bleeding is they lower pricing across the board. I think they're going to have to do it. I think they have to lower all the plans by about $10. I think they do that. That stops the bleeding, right? And like I said, you can't really see that pressure yet on the churn, but it's going to come. If you look at the numbers and the way this is being set up, they're losing accounts. 128,000 entire accounts left Verizon. Like I said, it's not one line, it's not two lines. They lost the entire account. So they're taking their business elsewhere. So like I said, that churn is going to eventually inch up higher. It's going to happen. Now, I know there's some confusion there because they're kind of offsetting that with some of the other growth from fixed wireless access, but that's not really bringing in wireless customers either. They said they only gained 12,000 new wireless customers. The rest of those fixed wireless ads were likely people that either came to Verizon strictly for that, or the current base is adding it onto their account. And that's growth, yeah, but it's not really helping the bottom line. As you can see, they're still forecasting a negative outlook because a lot of those customers are getting it only for that $25 price point. So that's not really adding any huge incremental revenue. So that's why I said to stop the bleeding, they have to implement a $10 price cut across the board. That's going to stop the bleeding. And what I think it's going to bring back the growth is when they hit the taxes and fees included. Once they hit that, the ground running, national marketing, boom. I think that'll bring people back into the store. I think that'll lower the churn even more. And I think they will start posting healthy numbers again. I truly believe that's what's needed right now. The welcome plan, I think it's great pricing, but I don't think it's attractive. People are going to come in asking about it, and then they're going to find out that no phone subsidy is allowed on there. So no promos. So they don't get anything off. If they want a new iPhone, they're going to have to fully finance it. When the starter plan and the premium plans get a certain amount of money off on the device. That's going to be a turnoff. So that's an immediate upsell. So that's what Verizon is doing. They didn't really implement, if you think about it on the grand scheme, they didn't really implement the welcome plan to say compete against T-Mobile's Essentials. They added the welcome plan to gain more foot traffic in the queue on the call, on CS, on customer service, the sales department, and to bring more foot traffic in. And then it's up to the sales reps to upsell that customer. Because if you really break that plan down, it's good on pricing, but it offers nothing. So it's not a super, super attractive offer if you look at it from an overall standpoint. Now, is there still going to be some percentage that'll get into that plan? Sure. Can they use it potentially as a retention offer if that customer calls in looking for a lower price? Yes. But I think overall, and again, we're talking nationally, we're not talking a certain region. Nationally, I don't think that plan is going to move and do much for them. I think they have to lower pricing on all of their plans. They got to stop with this premium, right? If the customer wants to get into that premium plan, they will get into it because they like it, they find it attractive, but don't push it. And add C-band and millimeter wave to all your plans. Let everyone have it. That's what they have to do, essentially, I think, to stop bleeding and to grow. Lower price, add taxes and fees. If they don't, we will see the same quarters that we got in Q1 and Q2, perhaps worse. There's some stuff that T-Mobile is going to implement here in a couple of days. I'll be able to talk about it. That's going to bring more pressure on competition. And then AT&T is going to come in September and bring more competition and pressure. And Verizon is not ready for it. They're not. They already forecasted a financial outlook. So now if they have to lower pricing or they have to increase the promo pressure, the financials are going to look even worse. So now you might as well go ahead and do it. You might as well have a meeting with the board members and the investors, tell them you're going to lower price. But to deflect the negative, you tell them it's going to bring growth. And then we're going to grow that, and we're going to grow fixed wireless access. There's a way to spin this in Verizon's favor. But the way it stands right now, it's not going to work. Right now, very soon, it's going to get very boring for Verizon. Right? The growth is going to look bad. A lot of people are going to stop looking Verizon's way. That's what's going to happen. It's going to come. Right? If they have a bad third quarter, then many are going to anticipate they have a bad fourth quarter. And then Hans is likely going to be let go, given that golden parachute. And then we're going to get a transformation on the executive team. And then I think that new team will pull the trigger on something that Hans should have did with his team, but they're just too stubborn, which is lower the price to stop the bleeding and then bring taxes and fees included to grow again. Implementing those two things, they will take an immediate hit on the financial side, but it's going to lead to growth, and you possibly lower your churn even more. Because the way it is right now, and I'm not talking about tomorrow or right, all of these quarters are going to add up. And then if they have no momentum, they are taking no momentum into the third quarter. Obviously, they're telling us that there's going to be more churn. Then they take no momentum into 2023 if it stays like this. They're going to have to change. And the positive takeaway from this video is the change is going to lead to competition, and it should be a reactionary response from T-Mobile and AT&T if they do what I think they should do, right? If Magenta Max is 85, God forbid, Verizon get more $80 introductory rate, $5 lower than Magenta Max. Let's go compete. Why not? Your financials are already hurting the way they are. You just raised your prices and your financials are still looking negative. So you might as well take that hit, restructure, and start growing. And then you can forecast better financials as you grow. That's my take on that. You know, you guys felt the passion. I just want them to be successful. The network, in my opinion, is not the problem. If there is a neighborhood or a certain city or whatever that you're in where Verizon doesn't work that great, it's more anecdotal. They are working on it. There is additional investment coming for the C-band. So that'll get better over time as they include more capacity. But for now, like I said, that's what they need to do. And I'm strongly suggesting that, because if not, it's going to get bad, very ugly. And we haven't even really seen what Dish is going to do yet. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, follow my social media outlets for more updates and interactions. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.